Hi, it's Gabrielle, and today I just want to share with you my experience at IMATS. IMATS is the International Makeup Artist Trade Show, which is a show where there's like demos, there are courses, there are discussions and interviews, but then there's also a ton of shopping for makeup items. It's really fun, but I just wanted to share with you my experience and the classes that I went to, just to kind of let you guys know what to expect if you were interested in going to IMATS, whether the LA one or a different one in another city. So this is the little booklet. Such beautiful work on the front. I'm just going to reference this as to what classes I took or what discussions I went to. So the first class I went to was sponsored by MAC Cosmetics. It had Gregory Arlt and Romero Jennings. These two know how to entertain a crowd. They did such a great job, and their whole class was on the power of the palette. So they had a MAC eyeshadow and highlighter palette, and they kind of went over different tips and tricks on how the same palette can be used on someone with very fair skin or even very deep skin. So I like how they kind of made a palette work for everyone, and it kind of inspires you to see that all of these palettes can be worked with any skin tone, and it was really fun. They had a lot of jokes. While it was entertaining, I'm not entirely sure how much I really learned in the sense of being a makeup artist. I think it was more of something interesting to watch and to kind of see how to do a look that is for a very fair skinned model and a very deep skinned model using the same palette.
That looks so beautiful, and I will say so does your model.
You know, Gregory?
True story.
The next class I went to was sponsored by Ofra. This one was the Francesca Talat demo. This one, I'm not super sure on how much I really liked it. I think it was really great to see her work and to see her create a makeup look. I just feel like the questions that were asked, I feel like the answers, like I wanted more out of some of the answers, but I know it's like a completely different time in makeup artistry, and like so much has changed from generation to generation. She is a fantastic makeup artist, so like I said, it was really fun to see her work and do a look on stage. It was using her new collection with Ofra, which I did not purchase at IMATS, and I'm not sure if I'll pick it up. It did have some really beautiful, interesting colors. I learned a couple of tips and tricks and techniques here and there, but it wasn't my favorite class, to be honest.
Dark, heavy. So I like the application very. I'm gonna add just a little touch of black, very lightly. Definitely the editorial. Editorial is my passion. I started that way. I'll never forget the emotion that I felt when I saw my first work in a newsstand, in a cover. And I still feel that way. Although today everything is digital, but the few magazines that still print, it still gives me the chill. Plus, editorial, usually you have more creative freedom. It's, it's a collaboration between the photographer and the editor, and makeup and hair are considered a big part of the job. Everybody aware that if you don't collaborate or the collaboration doesn't work, then you're not going to end up with a good picture. So it's a very important. The collaboration is important, the team. It's a teamwork.
Another class that I went to was the Roc Cosette, sorry if I'm mispronouncing, I'm so bad at names, Business of Beauty, Color, and Photography. So he owns his own brand. He was also very entertaining, and it kind of inspired me as to how to run my business as a makeup artist. And I feel like there's so much competition out there that you kind of need to step back and check to kind of be like, okay, this is what I need as like basic things to get me to work, and to kind of think of yourself and not just keep doing things trade for print. And like, if you are going to do something trade for print, to kind of step back, look at the photographer's work, look at like everyone involved, kind of figure out a mood board and kind of plan everything out. So his, I guess, advice and his class was more to me about the business side of things than executing a makeup look. It was an interesting class, and he was very entertaining. Once again, not my favorite class, but it definitely wasn't a bad class, as I did learn a lot about the business side of the industry.
Get me a margarita? No, I'm kidding. It's working. I love the benefit. I ran out of your brow pencils. I just like I had gloom fall over my entire being.
One of my favorite classes at IMATS, which I think really made my experience worth it, was going to Nick Lujan's class. Sorry, I'm so bad with names. But his class was sponsored by Makeup Forever. And he was so great at doing a demo. He explained everything, what certain products work well together, what products that won't work well together. And every single step of the way, I feel like he executed everything properly, and like it was easy to follow. So I think that he did a really fantastic job. I know he teaches, I think, at the Makeup Forever Academy. So if you are interested in like doing a course there, I would inquire about that with them, because he is an excellent teacher and he's so kind, super sweet, very entertaining to watch, and I can't wait to apply what I learned from his class to my own makeup looks and be inspired. I will link his Instagram down below, because he does have a lot of really stunning works. And he's a really great makeup artist, so be sure to check him out if you feel like you want to be inspired or kind of see the different techniques that he uses. On Sunday, I went to possibly the most popular thing at IMATS. I went to the interview with Michael Key and Mario Dedivanovic. I'm so sorry, I know, I'm bad with names, but he is Kim Kardashian's makeup artist and a whole bunch of other celebrities. He's probably one of the best known celebrity makeup artists out there. The interview was very interesting. I'll insert a couple clips of it here.
With a fan base of just a few folks, a few million actually, and he is one of the most sought after makeup artists today. He's renowned for creating flawless faces, and you've seen his work on publications such as Harper's Bazaar, Elle, Glamour, Vogue, 17, and that prestigious publication Makeup Artist Magazine.
Thank you guys. How are you? With my clients, my celebrity clients, I do brush first, and then I do sponge, always.
Excellent. And so you obviously you like more liquid foundations than you do creams, if that's is that your approach?
No, actually, I mean, I want to say for the first 14 or 15 years, I only used cream foundations. And then I switched over to liquids in the past few years, just to kind of bring more things into my kit. And to, you want to always change, when I change my kit, it sort of re-inspires me to do different things. So now, I always put new different kind of liquid foundations in, and it's interesting to me to try all the new formulas, and there's so much stuff that comes out. Like, nowadays, like you literally can't keep up. There's no way you could ever try everything, you know. But I like to try as much as I can, and then sometimes there's a few things that really stick and that you love. But I do love cream foundations. I find myself, I'm very kind of old school in that sense, where I find myself sliding back to my creams and stuff, after I've tried all the liquids, just because I know what works really well on TV, on camera, on film and stuff. So that it's just a very glam look that's my signature, but it changes. I really love natural makeup, like very natural makeup. I don't get to do it as much as I would like because, in our industry, in the celebrity makeup artist industry, when you work with Kim Kardashian, right, that comes with a lot of other things. And so the PR firms and the managers and all of the very kind of elite actresses and A-list stars who do film and stuff like that, they don't tend to book people like myself because I'm associated with, Kardashian and, because they think I have that certain kind of style. I do, however, still work with actresses and I do get to work on the Oscars and the Globes and stuff like that, but not as much as you'd think because of that reason. But I really love all kinds of makeup. When I was an assistant, I trained under very high fashion makeup artists, celebrity makeup artists, all different types. I just chose to go into that kind of direction that I went into, as a business decision.
Obviously, working with somebody of magnitude, Kim, there's a lot of logistics to deal with. There's entourages and the profile is so high. Can you kind of just talk about that a little bit, about where you find your place in that, how you can get your work done, and what pitfalls do you try to avoid in that scenario?
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy. People think the life of a celebrity makeup artist, the career of a celebrity makeup artist, from the outside and from social media, I think too, because we portray it to, where it's this glamorous kind of lifestyle. It's really difficult. It's really exhausting physically and mentally. Just to travel alone by itself. I think I posted the other day, I think I took upwards of 90 flights in 2018. That's a lot of flights and a lot of like packing and unpacking in airports. And so it's exhausting. And when you work with people, well, especially someone like Kim is sort of at a level of fame where it doesn't really get much more famous than that. You can go to a village anywhere in the world that they know who Kim Kardashian is. And, with that becomes the entourages and, all of those things. Those things can be good and bad. I mean, sometimes it works to our advantage because we're taken care of, because there's so much staff and so much security and all that stuff. And we get to fly private sometimes and, we stay at great hotels and whatnot. But it's also a lot to deal with when you're working as an artist because you never get to just, people might think in their mind that, we're just sitting there quietly working, but no, there's so much going on around us. There's publicists and there's security and there's, they're eating their food and they're doing interviews and they're getting their toes and their nails done, they're getting their hair pulled, and, we're doing the Met Ball and it's like the biggest red carpet of the year, and the amount of pressure we have to sort of deliver something that's beautiful because everyone's going to judge and everyone's going to look and everyone's going to zoom in, and it's stressful, because we don't get to just kind of sit there as you would if you're doing a bride or if you're doing a model on set. They typically just kind of sit there and be they're quiet, they're respectful. So yeah, there's a lot of challenges when it comes to that. With Kim in particular, for me, it's sort of like when I first met her, it wasn't like that because she wasn't really that famous when I met her. So I saw it happening little by little by little, the progression. And so I kind of just went along with her. And so for me, with her, I'm just sort of kind of really used to it. With newer clients, like pop stars and things that are extremely famous or that have been famous since they're young, it's a totally different world. It's not easy. It's just, you can't say much about what happens on set, but yeah. Does that answer your question?
No, it does, and your answer is great in that because you established a relationship early, so there was already that rapport, so it just rose.
Yeah, but also like, even though I've been with Kim now almost 11 years, and we're like brother and sister, right? We fight all the time. We bicker, we laugh. She knows all my secrets. I know all her secrets, but I still treat her with a level of respect. I never cross a certain, there's a boundary that I never cross because she still is my client. And so no matter how close we get, or no matter how long into this relationship that we are, there's still, you know, boundaries that I never cross, and that I always treat with respect. And I think that she knows that. I think that she really respects that about me as well. And so, you know, that's really important to me because it is still business. Like, I still don't, I'm not the type to be like, oh, you know, I'll do your makeup for free. Like, you know, like a lot of makeup artists will be like, oh, I'll do your makeup for free. You know, I'm not that makeup artist. If I'm working, you have to pay me, you know. And I remember back in the days, like, she would ask me, oh, why don't you just come live with me? Because I used to live in New York. She'd be like, I have an extra room, come stay here. Like, I refused because I'm like, once I do that, it crosses that line of client and, you know, and makeup artist. So I'm very cautious with that, and I think it's really important as a makeup artist.
Oh, it's such an excellent answer.
It was very interesting to hear how different his business side of the industry, I guess, is compared to, like, for example, bridal makeup artist. And he gave a lot of good tips and tricks about, like, assistants, being an assistant, and just talking about, like, being nervous about certain things. I think no matter how big you get, there will be a job that will make you nervous. So it was really humbling to me as an artist to be like, oh, like, this is the type of person that I would look up to potentially as, like, a business person in the industry. And it was just really fun. It was crowded, and I think Michael Key asked some really great questions. So I appreciate that because it was just really interesting, and the conversation kept on going very smoothly. So the last class I went to was from Sion Richards, and her class was amazing. Her and Nick, I think, had the best classes at IMATS. Her class was Painting Living Skin, How to Create Rich, Flawless Skin Like a Master. She is so incredible. So we were just sitting in the audience, and it was up on a stage. So she asked some of us in the audience to kind of sit up on the stage so we could see her actually work and kind of get up close and personal. She was super charming, so kind, and just a beautiful soul, to be honest. Like, she had this amazing energy, and when she was doing makeup, I learned so many new things that I feel like I want to try. Like, she applied foundation with this, like, really small brush that most people, I think, would apply, like, eyeshadow or concealer with. So some really interesting techniques that I'd love to test out and share with you what worked for me, what didn't work for me. But her end result was absolutely stunning. Like, just to kind of step back, analyze the skin, and correct certain things, and kind of just make everything symmetrical instead of just taking this huge foundation brush and slapping it on and getting full coverage everywhere when you don't need that, especially for film and TV when, like, the camera's right up close to you. You don't really want cakey foundation. So I really loved her class. She did an amazing job, and I'll insert, I think I have, like, a couple of clips here to put in just so you get, like, a sense of the whole vibe that was going on in the class.
Watch it. All right, let's put some, we need a little bit of color there, otherwise she's pretty much good. I'm literally just going over where I couldn't see before.
So those were the classes that I attended. I know I could have attended more, but I did walk around on the show floor, some not necessarily to go shopping, but just to kind of look around and see the demos that were happening at the booths. IMATS is really fun. Pro people were there, pro artists, and some really, really amazing, talented makeup artists, makeup enthusiasts. So I think it's really fun if you are interested in makeup to kind of see how these people apply makeup, to go shopping, to just kind of hang out and have fun and, I don't know, satisfy your makeup needs or wants. I'm not entirely sure if I want to go back next year, to be honest. I feel like out of the whole 2 days, the top 3 things were Nick's class, Sion's class, and the interview with Mario. while those things were interesting and I did learn a couple of tips and tricks along the way, I feel like IMATS hasn't delivered as much as I want as a class perspective. I mean, if you love going shopping, the discounts are pretty good. If you're a pro, the discounts are pretty much the same discount that you get when you go to a professional makeup store. But if you're not a pro, it's like 30% off. I've seen some booths even had 70% off, which is like unheard of. But I just feel like if I'm not going there to shop necessarily, I don't know if it was worth it to go Saturday and Sunday. I'd probably just want to look at the schedule ahead of time and go to just one day, either Saturday or Sunday. But it was really interesting. I did learn different tips and tricks, and there was also a makeup museum. So they always have a makeup museum and then a makeup competition. I didn't get any footage of the competition, but you can search that online. I'm sure it's somewhere. But I did get a couple of shots of the makeup museum, so I'll show you that there. They had stuff from Aquaman, they had stuff from Bohemian Rhapsody, and they had stuff from Vice, which I just watched, and the makeup is incredible. So it was kind of cool to see the whole process or some of the items that they used during the movies actually in real life. So I thought that was fun. Overall, like I said, it's fun. If you go with a group of friends, I think that'll make it more interesting and better, I think. But it wasn't bad. Not sure if I'll go next year. And I guess that's it. That's all my thoughts on IMATS this year for Los Angeles this past week. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel to see more things, makeup, beauty, fashion, all sorts of things, and some silly videos as well. So I will see you guys later, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys next time.